Hello, my name is Genesis and I'm a brave young voice. My name is Genesis. I'm 14 years old and when I grow up, I want to be an actress and a singer.
And why are you so interested in acting, Genesis?
It just gives me an outlet to, voice my opinions and express my emotions and myself as my true being.
Who or what inspires your acting?
So what really inspires me to act and to sing and to express myself in that way is my acting coach from middle school. She really was the first person to get me into acting and singing and theater in itself, and so she's really inspired me to be my best self and to express myself in that way.
Beautiful. So Genesis, what would you like to change about the world right now?
What I would like to change about the world is for everyone to be seen as equal and for everyone's voices to be heard and for everyone basically to have a voice that they can use and not be judged or, criticized for saying what they think.
Absolutely. And do you feel that you have the power to change the world right now?
I do. I think along with my fellow peers and with, even adults around me, I feel like we have powerful voices and I feel if we use them all together for one cause that we can make a change in this world.
Absolutely. So Genesis, could you explain for us what the coronavirus is and how it spreads, just based on what you know?
So based on what I know is that the coronavirus was a virus from China and it kind of sort of traveled everywhere, mainly in the US, and it started off in New York, I believe, or, up there. So it basically traveled really quickly. And at first it was something that was a little minor thing that, to be honest, in my opinion, I thought it was going to go away in a month or two. But as time went on, more and more people were affected and more people unfortunately passed away from that disease. And so now it's like an intricate part of every person's life.
Absolutely. What has quarantine been like for you?
It's been really eye-opening and very difficult at the same time. I've been quarantining with, my close family. So my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. And so it's been difficult in a sense that we see each other every day now. So it's kind of hard to, find time for yourself and then find time for you to spend time with your family. And, obviously there are arguments that happen and, difficult conversations that have to be had. But overall, it's been an enlightening experience despite everything that's going on outside in this world.
Beautiful. And aside from your family, Genesis, what are some things that you do to stay positive? What keeps you positive?
What keeps me positive is basically just finding ways to, just express myself. Singing has really been a good outlet for me. And then also, acting as well, watching shows and watching theater virtually. So that's really been something that's really helped me. And then writing, is one other outlet to, write my feelings down without having to suppress them. So that's been very beneficial for me.
Beautiful. What are some things that you write?
Basically, it's just, maybe poems or just, things, my emotions, basically, everything that I'm feeling so that I just don't have to keep it inside or else it'll probably, explode. So it's just a great way to just write it all down.
As a performer, what do you miss? Well, there's probably many things. So what's one thing you miss the most about theater?
One thing I miss the most about theater is just, being around people that, that social aspect and the way that you can all come together to create something really beautiful is what is probably the most important thing that I've really missed being away from the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. If you had an opportunity to say or talk to some adults, especially those in power, about what young people are thinking or feeling right now, what would you say?
The most important thing that I think needs to be said to these adults with, platform or people in powerful positions is to, listen and to gather all of your information before you say something to, your followers or, people that look up to you because, words can be a powerful thing. They can have a powerful impact and, some people who have, younger fans are kind of susceptible to believing anything that they hear in social media or anything that they hear from people who they love. So I think that's the most important thing would be just, getting all of your information and informing yourself on important topics and also speaking up about topics that are of importance to you and to, the world.
So Genesis, what has virtual school been like for you?
It's been very different from in-person school. Luckily, I am back in in-person school, obviously with mask and social distancing, but I was in virtual school for a while. And it was pretty tough. You're basically in charge of everything from when you wake up, your classes, like you doing your homework. You're basically your own teacher, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult where you have to speak up when you are confused, or you really have to communicate with your teachers and also your friends, and you really have to say when you need help, or else you'll basically fall behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And has it been easy or a bit more difficult for you to retain information?
It's definitely harder to retain information, mostly because not as a dig to other teachers, but some teachers mainly focus on the people that are in class with them. So when you're on a screen and you're just like looking into like a classroom in that environment, it's kind of difficult to hear information and to be involved in the conversations that are happening in there. And it kind of sucks to feel like you are there but you're not, and you are trying to find a way to get into that conversation and learn all you can. I obviously love in-person school much more, but I feel like there are some aspects about virtual school. You don't have as many classes that you have to be in, or you don't have to be on a Zoom or a Google Meet every day. So that's one thing. But then also, in-person school, you get to be around people and you get to learn so much more, and it's not like a burden or like a challenge that you have to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say in-person school is where I'd rather be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I get it. And so before you were in person, what are some ways that you were keeping in touch with friends and maybe family that weren't in quarantine with you?
I mean, to be honest, it was kind of me just, reaching out to people. It's kind of hard because, they're focused on their other things that are going on, their school, their family. So it's just basically, you have to reach out to people yourself. And, I've done FaceTimes and Zooms with, family and friends. And so, yeah.
Have you felt that Zoom fatigue that people are talking about?
A little bit. It's kind of hard because, the internet is just like so complicated. I sound like an old person, but it's so complicated and you like have to figure stuff out. So yeah, I've been getting a little bit tired of, doing Zooms and FaceTimes and all that sort of stuff.
What are your feelings on virtual theater?
Virtual theater is very, it's strange, because it's kind of weird looking through a screen and seeing people doing all this stuff. But I mean, I enjoy it a little bit, but I much rather would have in-person theater where you're sitting in a theater and you're watching people do all this crazy, amazing stuff in front of your eyes.
Definitely. And a lot of artists agree with you, so
Yeah.
you're not alone in that.